Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. I'm doing pretty good. So, got a little something different for you today. I thought we'd do a little podcast type show and talk about some of the changes that DICE might be implementing here in December. But it was pretty interesting. So, if you don't play the game, you might get a little insight on how we think about it and how we feel. This is us just talking about the Battlefield community managers released a synopsis of what is upcoming in the patch, and that has gotten most Battlefield players kind of upset a little bit about one particular thing, which is the time to kill, also known as the TTK. I think we referenced just TTK a few times. Now, they don't specifically say the TTK is changing, but what they're saying is that the amount of damage over distance is changing, but still, that really is time to kill. So, they're making some changes. People aren't happy. And that's what we are talking about. We're talking about everything. We're going to go through each one by one and go from there. So, all right, well, here you go. I hope you enjoy. Hi, my name is Mr. St. Jake, and my partner in crime for most of it is Mr. Mostly Lethal.
Good afternoon, everybody.
We know each other in real life. We've been friends for, I don't know how long now, probably almost 10 years
12,
now?
12 minutes.
12 minutes? Okay, cool.
10 years,
We just met.
That's
Got
right.
it.
Yeah, no, we're pushing about a decade.
Yeah, we are. It's been crazy. Met through some mutual friends, and about I would say late last year, earlier this year, we started playing together, and you found out that I had a YouTube channel and was like, man, this is all right, okay, let's do this. You kind of got interested in it. I remember one of the first videos I pulled you into.
That was a lot of fun, yeah. I think you started, was it before Battlefield 5? Was it with 1?
Yeah, I started with, I was tinkering with Battlefield 4, and I would make videos and then I would delete, and then
right.
When I was laid off, I got really just didn't have anything going on. I went, well, screw it, I'll make videos. I'll just do it on the PlayStation. Had a fantastic little editor, so I was just doing it just to spend some time, start to figure out the timing of things, and yeah. And when I upgraded my computer and all that jazz is when I started really getting a little bit more serious about it.
Yeah, and I remember you playing Battlefield 1, and honestly, Battlefield 1 just did not work too well for me. I just didn't really like it. It looked so much better than the last one, but it just, I don't know. Everything about it, just play style, TTK, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I didn't play a lot with you at all. And then 5 came out, and I was like, oh, God, yes. Now we're back on.
Yeah. Oh, God. So this is our second time doing this. The first time did not record. That's my bad. For whatever reason, the Elgato decided to take a shit and did not record. But we wanted to kind of have a little conversation about what's coming up because it's significant. These are some pretty big changes that they're possibly implementing. But we're going to say this real quick. I want to say this. We don't know what exactly the changes are going to look like. All we're doing is just kind of giving our thoughts on the subject and what's going on. Some things we like, some things we're not happy about. But that's really what it is. We just wanted a time just to kind of sit and bullshit for a little while for you guys. So here you go.
Exactly.
Folks are not happy. They're scared. I think players are just really do have a right to be scared because of the last things they've done with the TTK the last time around. And it makes folks nervous.
I agree. Yeah, honestly, I think the reason that people are kind of so in a twist about it is simply because the people who spent money on this game, who have been like following this franchise for years, myself included, have put up with a lot since the release of this game, where so much was promised, so much less was delivered, and it was always just another stay with us, hang on, more is coming, we're going to fix this, oh, that's bad, we'll fix that too. And you watched basically a company whose opening sales did not do as well as they wanted to because of a horrible rollout and PR campaign, to be quite honest with you. Cost them a lot of money on the front end. They didn't make as much as they thought they were going to, and I think they held back a lot of resources in the beginning. Then they realized what a horrible it is for the brand, and they started actually putting more into that, fixing things, patching things, and trying to deliver on promises made. They finally got it to such a nice, stable state that we've caught up to here within this last 3 weeks, right, with the release of Pacific.
Yeah.
It's been so great with Underground, really. Like that was probably like the big turning point for me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you roll out these changes, and like, not to talk into them yet, but like just to take it up to the current point, then you drop this on people and like, really? Like, I thought we were here. I thought we had arrived, okay? And now you're telling me not quite yet. We're gonna tweak it some more.
Right.
So if I had to sum it up as to my guesstimation on, what they're thinking on the internet, that would be it.
Yeah. Players have a right to be a little on edge about this when you're talking changing TTK. But we'll get into that when we come down there. So, community games, that's what's coming out here soon, hopefully with 5.2 patch. We were a bit premature in revealing to you the new name for the private games when we published 5.0 update notes last month, but we have settled on a final name and can confirm that now we'll call it community games. Okay, rental servers is what it was called, but I know it by, but community games. And I know that you're excited about this because if they do all this and it doesn't go to our liking, what are we going to be doing?
Community games.
Pretty much. It's, yeah, so hopefully we'll know more about that when it starts.
Yeah, I'll make my own reality.
Yeah, fuck your reality. I'll substitute my own. That's right. Again, I personally would love a server where it's a little bit more hardcore, like you get rid of the mini-map, keep all the bullet damage the same, you keep everything else the same, and you're able to see where the objectives are. I think that would be fun.
I think that would be fun too. Absolutely. I mean, build your own playlist. That's my big thing, right?
Like if
you have 3 or 4 maps you're in love with, you can set that up. I mean, I haven't seen the exact things you can tweak, but I'm assuming you can create your own playlist. Wouldn't that be great? Just to roll through the maps in the order you want to roll through them, or maybe you're just in love with like one. Like you remember Battlefield 3? You'd see people like they'd pick like this map 10,000 tickets, and like basically that means you're gonna play this for hours. Like I'm gonna grind out some objectives. And speaking of which, it's a great place to do that. You want to talk about like an isolated place where like this map's great to get this thing done? Go for it.
And we'll learn more about that when it comes out. So hopefully we'll get the information and we'll know more. But as of right now, I am looking forward to it. That's the thing that's happening. The Lunge Mine, affectionately known as the Boom Broom, they're not satisfied with it. The Boom Broom, we're not presently satisfied with the way the Lunge Mine is working in our current builds. It's not activating when we want it to, and splash damage is making weapons less predictable than we intended. So we're going to hold back on releasing this gadget to both Assault and Support until next update in the new year in order to get it polished and reliably working. When it works, it's great fun. They're still working on it. It's not probably where it should be. I personally think that it could be a little worse. It looks like it does a lot of damage to the tank for what damage it does to the individual. So I'm like, really? Maybe it should just knock them. I don't know. But they're still working on it. I'm just wanting it just for the troll effect, honestly.
It would be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the Boom Broom, as they nicknamed it. I think that's awesome. I agree with you. I think it should take you down to like max 10% health, maybe as low as 1. It was originally a suicide weapon, so I mean, like, I think you should, get clips down to like 1%.
Yeah,
but you can literally do a sacrifice charge on a tank, which is pretty cool.
Right. Oh man, the videos, I can't wait. It's gonna be funny. And if you can do that to a player though, I mean, you can, right? Vaporize somebody. I can't wait.
Yeah, I do it every day just to do it.
The Fliegerfaust. Staying with the topic of gadgets, it's been fun seeing everyone getting to grips with the Fliegerfaust since it went live during Battlefest. It's been good to see it change up the loadouts on Assault class, and we recognize the impact that this gadget has had on pilot players and airborne gameplay. With Update 5.2, we'll be adjusting the detonation radius of the individual rockets to require more precise impact on the plane. They presently detonate at 7 meters and deal full damage. And so we're tweaking the detonation radius to require more precision. So, the Fliegerfaust, as like I read here, it's getting a little bit of a little bit of a nerf or a tweak, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? Tweak, nerf?
I think it's they're going about it very tactfully, saying it's not really a nerf. We're just modifying how you can use it. We're elevating the skill ceiling. These are great buzzwords.
Right.
No, okay, let's be honest. This thing is OP and I love it. It's about time that we got the hammer and could smash some planes out of the sky with this thing. It is so much fun to use. It's abusive, I agree, and I have definitely recorded a lot of footage of me abusing the hell out of it. It's glorious. I don't want it to go away, but just like the Boys AT, they're going to tweak it down to some, more or less OP setting. I get it. It's probably the right thing to do. Fuck, I loved playing with it at full power.
Yeah, we need to get back in there and play with it some more. Wake Island. At the end of the month, we'll have a new article live on Battlefield website that provides you with the first look at Wake Island, which we currently intend to deliver as part of 5.2 update and release it into the new game a few weeks later. We're having a wild time playing this on our internal playlist, and even though many of you have deployed on Wake across different eras of Battlefield, we're confident that you're all in for a treat playing this on Breakthrough Conquest, Squad Conquest, and Team Deathmatch. There's one little line here that kind of bugs me about this. Currently intend to deliver it as part of 5.2 update and release it into the game a few weeks later. So I don't know when we're getting Wake Island, to be honest. I don't know if we're getting it at the 5.2 update or if it's going to be like a Christmas thing. I don't know. So hopefully we'll get it sooner rather than later. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think they could screw it up too bad. Looks like they're having a good time on it, and as soon as it comes out, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, yes, can't wait for it. It's going to be great. If they treat it just like the first two maps they've come out with, it's going to be great. It will not disappoint.
Yeah,
Wake Island is such a touchstone with Battlefield and the history of the several iterations it's gone through. It's going to be something they dump everything into, just like they did with the new version of Operation Metro, right, which is the underground map. I mean, they took their time because they couldn't get that wrong, and I think they'll do the same thing with this.
Operation Underground, to me, was the reset button for Battlefield. You're right. I think, to me, that was year 2. That was episode 2, version 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it, chapter 2. It just felt like, I mean, I like Merida, I like some other ones, but man, that was the kickoff. And then Wake Island's coming, and I can't wait. I had so much fun in the other versions of Battlefield and Wake Island. And so the next thing they're talking about is improving the sandbox. Hopefully you've seen and felt us make some great changes to Battlefield with our series of updates, a lot of which were targeted at helping to improve and restore more of that sandbox gameplay that we love. We're continuing that trend in 5.2, and we wanted to talk to you today about some of the changes we're making next month. And I just like to say, I think sometimes it's just the map development. It's giving us what we've been wanting, and I'm hoping we'll get to go to Russia and some other places down the road too.
Yes, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I mean, really, the Eastern Front has yet to be touched in the whole war. I think that would be amazing. We kind of got Berlin during the fall, I suppose, with Rotterdam, and that kind of captures what a bombed out city looks like. I'd still take more. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it's there. That was the early part of the war.
Normandy.
We want a World War II game. We don't want. I'm hoping down the road, and that we've had this a couple more years with Battlefield 5. I'm hoping it just becomes, the World War II Battlefield game. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be just Battlefield V. I want it to be that World War II Battlefield game. They're still updating that. I hope they keep doing that with this, but we'll see.
Yeah, you and me both, man. If they keep going down the track they've been going in the past couple of months, it's going to be amazing.
Now we're getting into the everything so far we're happy with. I mean, we've talked about the community games we're excited about. We kind of like the way the state of the game is currently right now. Lunge mines are going to be a treat once they come in, and I can't wait to run at somebody with them. Probably won't last very long, but I'm pretty sure. I can't wait to get. I'll be honest with you. Come at me. I want to see that. I want to see me getting lunge mined to death. I think it'll be great. Come at me. Fliegerfaust tweaks and Wake Island, improving the sandbox. That's what we've been talking about. Now we're getting to what is probably irking us the most, I would say. Enemy acquisition icons. There's been a number of updates at improving player visibility throughout our first year of support, and with this update, we're making more changes. In 5.2, we're directing our attention on improving player awareness and helping to more easily register the difference between friendly and enemy soldiers. The change that we're making targets the combat ranges where players could die very quickly and help players to acquire targets that are in close quarters combat range, around 15 meters, provided that the player in question is within their immediate field of view. With all that said, I know that it's not everybody's lit up. It's only when you're within the first 15 meters and you're looking directly at someone and the icon pops up. I get that. What is that something you think we need?
Absolutely not. Nope. In my humble opinion, I think it's interesting. There's a great Christmas noob theory that's going around Reddit right now about this topic, and they might just be on the money about it. Basically, what they're saying is that they're making these tweaks to pull in the Christmas purchase crowd by saying, look, anyone can play this game. We'll even give you these little nice icons that show where the bad guy is, and you won't feel like such a total loser when you jump into this game for the first time and get cut in half. Like, it's really meant to help that group out, and I think it just kind of, if the theory is true anyway, hinders the rest of us, to be honest with you. Like, I was playing this game a year ago when you really couldn't see anybody. Now they at least have, like, shadows and silhouettes around people where, like, it kind of helps, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I find that level of viewing acceptable. And I accept those consequences when I run right past somebody and they shoot me in the back. Yeah. It is the way it is. Because I get people the same way. It's give and take. It's fair square. Like, we're good here. I don't see a need to implement the Dorito system or whatever, you know, icon marker you want to call it. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure I'm down with it or not. Again, we'll have to see. Again, when the game first came out, in the first part, and I've talked about this in the previous time that we've done this, but when the game first came out, what was the things that were said to us? It's a harder game. It's based on more skill. You have to learn how the recoil works, the recoil pattern works for each gun. You have to be able to spot your enemy. You have to pay attention more. It's going to be we're taking the training wheels off. We put them on for Battlefield 1. Now we're going to remove them for Battlefield 5. So I feel like, I don't know why they're doing this, but they're doing it. And we'll just have to see how it works. Now, granted, I've dealt with this stuff, and you've dealt with this stuff since Battlefield 3. You know, we've had this before. You just sit there and just tap your button, and you're just marking people like crazy, you know. But but there wasn't these wide open maps like they have now. Well, I mean, there was a couple maps in Battlefield 4 that were pretty wide open, but you were stupid not to be in a Jeep or something getting around quickly. Yeah, I think that one's up in the air for me, too. I think I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen. I'm curious.
Me, too. Yeah, I reserve judgment until we actually, you know, functionally use it. Like, there's no point in slamming it until you know if it's worth slamming or not. Might not be that bad.
It may not be too bad.
It's just your viewpoint. It's just your point of view. It doesn't give it to your team or the rest of, you know, the gaming, you know, squad, we're going to call it.
And the also the fact that they're because they're making some spotting changes in general, like with the flare gun radius, they're changing that a little bit. They're just tweaking that. They're just bringing that down. And also they're letting you know that you've been spotted. That's cool, because you have to pay attention to your minimap, because if you don't see that, how are you going to get the feedback? Good point. I think that one's I'm okay with that one. That one you have to be on your toes about. That's one of the things. That's, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Now, there's a big thing that's been changed here. Angle of attack, improved armored vehicles, and there's a lot to this, but basically you have to hit the tank dead on, and any angle blows are going to be very minimal damage. Vehicle players often comment to us that they don't feel as empowered to enter the battle and help to push the objective. There's a wide range of explosive gadgetry that can help to quickly remove a tank from play, and without making changes to existing arsenal, we want to help improve the experience for tankers and raise the skill ceiling when using these gadgets. Okay, so I get it that they're trying to help out the tankers. They want the tankers to feel like they can get into the battle. They want the tankers to be able to push in and contribute and possibly, I don't know, play the objective? But
what?
But I still think that you're going to have those players now that are still going to sit back and that are probably going to, fire off the shots and not move in. And it's going to be very difficult to hit those guys from a distance. So it's a give and take. But I'm hoping that this does encourage a little bit more aggressive gameplay from tankers. And I'm looking forward to it because I like taking those bad boys out. I am a tank wrangler, if you will.
It is fun to do. That was just fun to kind of get into. But no, the main thing is it's such a wide open range for tanks in these two maps, right? With the Pacific so far, anyway. Tanks and the amphibious tanks that can come up on the shore, they're devastating, but they're also so incredibly vulnerable with all that thick jungle foliage. You can easily, I've done this dozens of times since this thing came out. You can just jump into the thick, let the thing roll by, and then just come up right behind it. There's nothing they can do. It's the most fun. It's almost as fun as the Flieger. It's just the best. Popping tanks is almost as fun as shooting down planes.
I mean, right now it takes me, I think, I'm a 2 dynamite anti-tank grenade right off the bat. So dynamite, anti-tank grenade for a surprise. Mm-hmm. And then it's Panzerfaust to finish off. Maybe a second one if I haven't done the job right. Normally I attack from the rear because that's where they're most vulnerable. And that's what it looks like. It looks like that's where the vulnerability is still going to be, is the rear of the tank. You're not going to be able to come at the tank head on. But if you do, make sure that you're putting those shots probably where it's going to count, either on the track or on the turret. That's just my opinion, but I'm looking forward to this personally. I think that I've been saying they needed this for a long time. However, I really wish that they would reduce the amount of damage that they do over distance. And the reason is because if they sit back way out or out of bounds, they shouldn't be able to do that much damage to infantry, because it seems like that's what a lot of guys do. They'll sit back and they just want to pick off infantry to get that KD up. I don't know. But that's a transition, because now we're getting into damage over range and weapon balancing. We've been updating our game lately on performing more weapon balance passes on the different weapon categories as part of ongoing efforts to improve the weapon diversity across the game and provide you with greater range of options to use when setting up your soldier versus the current meta of one-size-fits-all gameplay. With 5.2, we'll be addressing the damage over distance value of different weapon classes to help promote healthier gameplay on the objectives. Because of the balance changes that we've already made to bolt action carbines, sniper rifles, and anti-material rifles, we're not going to be making any changes what these weapons do at range. As ever, we'll continue to review these weapon classes in case we feel further tweaks are needed. And then they provide a little breakdown. This is what we've been talking about. This is what a lot of players are concerned about. This right here is what everybody is concerned about. And they do have these charts, and I'm going to show now some of these charts that are on here and just kind of going with it. But keep in mind, there's a red line there. That red line represents the average distance that most of these weapons are used. That's the average use of these weapons. So if you look beyond that, that's what they're talking about. A lot of these weapons, we don't sit there and try to knock people from 50 to 60 yards out. You're not going to... Who uses the Thompson and puts it on semi-auto and goes tap, tap, tap? Nobody. So, I don't know. It looks like they are changing some values that are still within side of that range. So it's kind of a wait and see for me. I don't know. I mean, if they're paying attention to it and they know what they were putting their foot in when they did this. They knew that this was not going to be good. I don't think this is the Christmasification. I think they're just trying to balance the game properly. I think with a lot of the maps that are wide open like they are, just like I think it was Level Cap. I watched one of his videos talking about this, and he made a good point that the map designs are dictating this, and it's probably good that they're finally getting caught up to where they should be. And that just means that the game will probably be in a much better place. Again, time will tell. What do you think about all this?
I agree. I think that the hype on Reddit's hilarious, right? So like, people show like all these pictures of like their favorite SMGs with like tombstones next to them, like R.I.P. I've never used this again. I'm like, let's let not be quite so dramatic, shall we? Like, it's going to be fine. Yeah, I agree. Up close weapons should be used up close, long range. It's just the way it goes. So, yeah, if you're running your Thompson the right way, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and people sniping you with a hand cannon across the map. That's not fun either.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick you up with the Mark 6 at like 200 yards. Like, stop it. I'm glad that's getting fixed.
Yeah. You had mentioned something the first time we did this, that they have been working on this for how long now? Before the Pacific maps came out. So
in DICE's defense, basically, like, they had let's rewind it back to like 2 months before today, right? So the Operation Underground map hadn't even dropped yet. They were desperately trying to get the Pacific out. They were working on patches to improve gameplay because people were just frustrated. And I'm sure they were seeing, player drop, right? So working on these things to improve everything and really deliver a better experience. And, if you're not happy with the way it currently is, let's make modifications. I get that. So lo and behold, they come out with Operation Underground. That's a great turning point, like you said. And then really the crown jewel so far is the Pacific drops. And that is just amazing. I've had so much fun with this. And everyone says, this is the Battlefield 5 I always wanted. It finally got here after a year.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, actually. It is truly the most polished version of everything that they've come out to date.
This turd is
on
polished.
The heels of this turd is polished. And on the heels of that success, they come out with this announcement that, hey, this new patch coming out, we're going to tweak everything about time to kill, downrange, how it impacts your weapons, and also the spotting system. You're okay with this, right, everybody? We all kind of went, No, I thought it was fine. I didn't realize this was broken, but now you're going to change it. Okay, so, yeah, that's kind of, I think, where a lot of people are with it, And to DICE's, again, to their defense, they didn't know 2 months ago how good this probably would be. They were probably just throwing everything at the wall and hoping something sticks, right?
Yeah.
So
I think communication has been a big issue, and it's been an ongoing issue for them. I don't know if this was timed right. I think their timing was just fucking off. Here's another theory, and I was just thinking about this. Wake Island is pretty wide fucking open. From the iterations that I've played, it's there. I mean, there are plenty of places that you can play. Like that fucking map is so big. Depending on where you are, you're going to stay at maybe one or two objectives. You're not going to be running around a whole lot. But if you're like me and my buddy Fast, we were in a Jeep constantly with C4 on it or something, just running around like idiots,
Yes.
You just start on one side of the horseshoe and work your way over to the other side of the horseshoe. We were constantly moving and going. But I'm thinking that since the gameplay is changing enough to where you're going to have some really exposed areas across the map, that may be why they're doing this now, if you think about it. Before they release, they're probably going to have this. The 5.2 is going to come out. They're going to have this done. They're going to. And here's the thing: I can't wait to go out to Panzerstorm and see how this is going to play out. This will be a great testing ground at Panzerstorm because that place is wide ass open. So
that's very true. Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm indifferent at the moment. I'm excited, but I'm a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good changes here. The game is in a great state, but I just have to wait and see. I really don't really know what to feel, but I think they know what they're doing, and I really do. I got faith they'll pull this out.
I'm optimistic as well. I mean, they've made some misses, but I'd like to think, like most good companies, they learn from their mistakes, right? And sometimes changes do require a leap of faith. You're like, just stay with me, trust me, just hang on. Just watch it. Look at it first, all right? Before you make up your mind.
Exactly.
Try a bite. Then let me know if you don't want to eat it, okay?
Did you make that? I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's just, the player base has a right to be a little bit a little dramatic here, but
they've been burned before.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think it's just a wait and see, I do. But anyway, on that note, that's about it for us. It's always been a pleasure doing this. This is the first time we've ever done this. We just want to see what would it do. I don't know, what's the title of this? State of the Game, Battlefield 5, 5.2 State of the Game. I don't know. We'll think of something. But yeah, this has been great.
State of Grace.
State of Grace. All right.
Workshopping it.
Yeah, we're just workshopping it.
TBD.
Mr. Lethal, as always, it is a pleasure. Thank you very much. Don't go anywhere this time. Please stay on when we sign off. Don't just fucking leave me again. Hey guys, again, thank you so much for listening and watching. We do appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.